All right, now the last thing we're going to do is go ahead and add a couple of details to the bottom part or the room so that we can finish it up. Okay, so we're going to add a little door frame around the door. So of course this line right here is going to be parallel to this one. And we'll go ahead and just, leave yourself a little space there. It's going to go all the way down to the floorboard. You're going to do the same thing on this side. This side should be a little bit thinner. Not too much thinner, but a little bit thinner than the front side. Again, try to make it as parallel as you can. And then the top is going to go toward your vanishing point. So I know my vanishing point, that's the horizon. I can still see where my point was. So you should probably still be able to see where your point was. So this is going to go here toward the vanishing point, and that will be the top of the doorway, the frame. So it's going to look like that. I can connect it there. Then I can make a horizontal line right here, because that's going to be that edge. And I'm going to bring that edge down because this is the side we can see. And this is going to be a really thin line that's also parallel right here. I'm going to stop before I get to the bottom because I'm going to add a baseboard. Okay, so the baseboard is going to go to the vanishing point. Okay, so I'm going to go from vanishing point. There's my vanishing point right there. And then this is going to be the baseboard. So I don't want it to be too big, but it's just going to run down right here and then over here. And that will touch there, and then I'll get to see this part here. So I can go ahead and corner this up here and make the third dimension on this line. So I'm going to have another little piece right here that's running toward the vanishing point. This is like a little bit of details. It's okay if you get them in there. If you don't, back here, their line's going to be really close together. You can just shade it up. Right here, you'll be able to see them a little better. You can shade that up. Shade this part up real quick. And then we'll add the baseboard all the way around. So back here, just straight across from the top right there, that's going to be the same length all the way across, or the same height. Just don't go through the legs, of course. So we'll go here, get a little there, all the way there, right in there, all the way across. Okay, and then we'll bring this from that corner there to the vanishing point. That will be the top of our baseboard coming this way. And there we are here. So what we can do is we can make this part of course, it's going to have a little bit of thickness. So we're going to leave a little space now. I'm going to leave so I can get the top here. I'm going to leave a little space and I'm going to connect it to the vanishing point again. It should run pretty parallel to this. And then over here on this side we can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and shade that up a little. And then there's our baseboard. I'm going to actually make this line right here on the corner a little darker. I don't like the way it looks right now. All right, so this is our shaded side. And then we can add a little bit more detail by just, a little shading from this side of the wall. Don't put too much here because you're going to get a glare from the window where the window's open. So that's where my window's at, so I'm going to kind of leave a little space there. And we'll add a little bit of shading along the wall. The window's going to add some. I'm just going to go along this side here on the floor. And we can kind of add some more over here. Just lightly putting in some shading. Then you can go in and blend that. So your drawing has some value. And then we can add a little bit of shadow off the feet of these. A little bit of a darker shadow back there. You can blend that out this way. Give your and you've got your little table in here. The last thing we can do is add a little bit to the ceiling up here. So on the ceiling, we're just going to go ahead and connect this with like a little curved line right there. And then make like a little loop around that right there. Look like this. And then that'll kind of give you that going into the ceiling. Now we can go ahead and add a little shadow off of this too. We'll do something like that. Kind of like straight across off the light. And kind of give it a little bit of dimension there. So that's basically it. Any of your guidelines you want to erase them from your work. You want to keep all your other lines nice and dark. And that's how you draw a one-point perspective. All the lines going toward the vanishing point. All these lines are parallel on the wall. So when they're on this wall in the angle, you want them to go to the vanishing point. All of these lines are parallel on the wall. They're going that way towards the vanishing point. Same thing with these. These are parallel to each other, and they're going to be going toward the vanishing point to create that depth. Okay, and that's pretty much that. So you can add a little shading to this windowsill. And actually, I would have brought this out a little bit. It would probably look better if we bring this out a little bit right here. And get that little edge here. Shadowed in. And that's pretty much that with the window. And you got a little water out there, a little shading, a little 3D, and that's the end.